another list. Andrew Knack? Thank you, Andrew. Beth Sanders?
Yes.
Thank you. Brian LeGros?
No.
Albert Omstead? Brian or Marjorie Staples?
Yes.
Okay. David Kent? Okay, that was all for those, Madam Clerk?
And on the opposed, starting at about number 38.
Yeah. David Gibbons? David Gibbons?
Yes.
Okay. Jana Rieger?
Yes.
Okay. Chris Floden?
Yes.
Alan Skrejko?
No.
George Ofstad?
No.
Masoon, I already did this one, I think. But I'll do it again. Makarichian?
No.
Brian Coughlin?
No.
Jordan Schroeder?
Yes.
And Dieter Crispin?
Yes.
Okay, is anybody we missed that there's not had a chance to put them in? What? Oh, well, we know Mr. Bigelow, you haven't been heard. Okay, you want to come down, Mr. Bigelow, or do you want to, Madam Clerk, there's an individual. Do you want to stand if you haven't been, you want to speak and you haven't been? So we can... Okay, what is this one here? Madam Clerk, can you do me a favor? Can you actually give me an up-to-date list?
Most definitely, I'll be getting them.
Okay. It would be a help when we...
We could all get them up to date.
Yeah, no, everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
If you could, as administration make their presentation, could you then get update list for everybody? Thank you, because it's confusing as to who's here and who's not. And if we've called your name, and obviously you're not here to answer, but if you do come, if the individuals do come, we'll go through the list, and if they come anytime, we'll be more than happy to hear from them, okay? Okay, administration, you want to start your presentation?
The presentation today will take approximately 30 minutes. It's quite a different approach today. We will see both transportation, planning, and development staff presenting the integrated transportation land use aspects of the LRT corridors. The most significant change from previous LRT corridor selection is the use of new criteria that match the new city vision and goals, including integrated land use, compact urban form, and shifting the way we travel. This criteria was created after consultation with stakeholders, staff workshops, and presented to Council earlier this year for approval. The two key elements are objective selection categories and weighting for relative importance. I then directed staff to look at all LRT planning using the new criteria, which has resulted in the recommendations that are in Council for your review today. The LRT corridor package before Council today represents the largest and most significant part of the future LRT network. We'll now pass it on to the next speaker, Brian.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, members of Council, the purpose of bylaw 15101 is to formalize an update to Edmonton's transportation system. The City Transportation Act requires that the city establish a bylaw to define its transportation system and that this system be based on an approved study or plan. Bylaw 15101 repeals the former transportation system bylaw number 13423, and it references a new updated transportation master plan, the Way We Move, which was approved by Council on September 14th, 2009. Bylaw 15101 contains 4 key appendices. Appendix A is a map that shows the arterial road and the LRT network. Appendix B and C are text descriptions of those networks. And Appendix D contains the list of roads within Edmonton, which are actually managed by the province under the Highway Transfer Agreement, yet Edmonton still maintains them. Bylaw 15101 has already received first reading. This occurred on November 12, 2008, when the MDP and TMP were first introduced to City Council. Earlier, you just approved a number of motions to make amendments to the bylaw to reflect what's before you today. Specifically, that reference to the September 14th approval of the Wavy move. Some minor text amendments related to the descriptions of arterial roads under the provincial management, and updates to the appendices that I described before to reflect changes that have happened over the last year, particularly new roads in the Heritage Valley area, the amended agreement with the province on the highway transfer of lands that include the Northwest Anthony Henley Drive, and also the revision to the LRT network that will be the focus of the balance of today's presentation. A significant part of the bylaw before you deals with proposed additions to the LRT network. To provide context to the city LRT network, I will outline how the additions to this network tie to the city visions and the goals and objectives contained in the Wavy move. The city vision has 6 strategic goals. The recommended LRT expansion supports these goals, particularly 2, 3, and 4, shown in bold on the screen before you. However, LRT in combination with land use can be quite supportive to the balance or the remaining 3, environment, financial stability, and economic diversity. The Wavy move contains 7 strategic goals. While it can be argued that expansion of the public transit system could support all 7, the LRT network expansion closely aligns with goals 1 through 4. Within the Transportation Master Plan, Strategic Objective 5.1 is shown here. It outlines the framework that the administration should follow in expanding the LRT network. Key words contained in this objective include increased ridership and spur the development of compact urban communities. The city's LRT network plan was approved by Council in June of 2009. It defines a long-term 6-legged LRT network together with a central area circulator. The network plan provided other key recommendations to guide future LRT development. First, a move towards a more urban-style system for both new and existing lines. This would allow for closer stop spacing and focus on walk-up and local bus connections. Secondly, it recommends implementing low-floor train styles for lines that do not physically connect with the existing system. Today we bring to you 2 new LRT lines connected together for a total of 25 kilometers. The lines will be based on an urban style with low-floor vehicles, as they will not be physically connected to the existing system. The west to southeast LRT will form Edmonton's east-west LRT spine of the 6-legged network. This comprises the single largest addition in planned LRT since Edmonton began working on LRT in the 1970s. With this bylaw, the approved LRT network grows 68%, from 36 kilometers to 61 kilometers. In 2010, we intend to bring forward a corridor recommendation for the Northwest line. When the Northwest line is approved, the majority of Edmonton's 30-year LRT network needs will have been planned out. Today, Edmonton's LRT system is primarily focused on the suburban style, with wide stop spacings, ballast tie construction with large stations, and the majority of transfers occurring via major transit centers and park and ride. In moving towards a more urban style, the stops will be spaced closer together. LRT will become a focus of pedestrian-oriented and sustainable communities and provide more opportunities to link work, education, shopping, and recreational journeys. This will be done both for existing and new lines, as the urban style system is actually independent of rail technology. Urban style systems intend to operate in Edmonton segregated from vehicle traffic. Signal priority will be given to LRT trains through intersections, and the vehicle performance, such as speed and braking, will be as good or better than today's vehicles. As indicated before, the southeast and west lines will be new and independent from the current system, therefore allowing for the use of low-floor technology. Simpler scale LRT will allow for improved integration into the residential and business areas through which these lines will pass. Low-floor technology provides for street-level boardings for pedestrians and allows for direct transfers to bus systems. The system will create fewer barriers than the existing technology. Stations are smaller, generally less costly due to lower scale infrastructure, and can easily integrate into the surroundings.